At Retravision, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee, buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at Retravision.
A lot more secure in the line, so pushing forward.
Bad shot here, boys, and we start a roll here. One bad shot to open the door here, boys. Come on, lad.
Yep, one bad shot is going to bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100. That's a pretty good form, Bernie.
Well, it's that time again. It's time for the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which is proudly brought to you by Retravision. Now, Retravision is where if you're an RAC member, you can get an extra 5% off their already low prices for all your electrical and white goods. There's only one place to go, and that is Retravision, proud partners of the Peel Cricket Association and the Peel Cricket Show, which is known as the Pavilion. We also are proudly supported by ESA Sports. Now, ESA Sports make every sporting moment epic for all your sports memorabilia, sports coaching, apparel, etc., as well as Everlast sports drinks. ESA Sports are the sole distributors of Everlast sports drinks, and Everlast sports drinks are isotonic hydration in 750ml bottles. None of this 600ml bottle lark. 750ml, $1.88 plus GST for your club today. Get on to John Sanders there at ESA Sports and he'll look after you. Round 7 affected by the rain. Hasn't this summer been very stop-start? Very, very frustrating, especially for our A grade in the Wiley Cup. Just as they get a little bit of momentum, it starts to rain, and rain affected every game bar one. So we'll have a little bit of a chat about that, how that affected things. We'll also have a very quick wrap up of the Retravision Premier T20 League clash this week between, it was Mandurah versus Warnbro. Now, Mandurah, it was their first hit out this year in the Premier T20 League. Just the way it was all set up this year, different pools and things like that. So, this first time we saw Mandurah, we've already seen Warnbro. So we'll have a quick wrap up of how that game went. And we've also got a special guest this week. Now, you're not only going to hear my dulcet tones throughout the show, you're also going to hear the voice of a favourite son of the Peel Cricket Association and the soon returning Tim Lees. Tim Lees has a long history in the PCA, been a player coach with Hall's Head and also a player coach with Singleton Irwinians, successful coach, won plenty of premierships all through the grades and won a couple himself as a player as well. So we'll have a chat to Tim and we'll have a fairly good chat as we discuss all things cricket. Tim's based in Kimberley at the moment, but he will be returning to the region at about Christmas time, and he may even pull the whites on again and play for his beloved Singleton Irwinians. As you'll pick up in our chat, he's still a very proud and passionate member of his club, and I think he can't wait to get back and run around there at Laurie Stanford with the Singleton Irwinians. So all that and more later as we go through the show. You are on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. My name is Orazio. I'm with you this week and every week here on the Pavilion. And hopefully you are also listening to this on 91.3 Sport FM every Saturday morning between 8 and 9 a.m. We're very fortunate to have our little show broadcast around Perth Metropolitan region, plus anywhere else you can pick it up online at the Sport FM website. But 91.3 Sport FM between 8 and 9 every Saturday morning, you'll get a wrap-up of Peel Cricket here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. We'll be back.
RAC members get exclusive deals and offers, plus an extra 5% off on top of our lowest price guarantee at Retravision.
Welcome back, everyone. We're on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to you by Retravision, ESA Sports, there we go, ESA Sports Agency and Everlast Sports Drinks. And remember, you can listen to us, hopefully you will listen to us right now on 91.3 Sport FM every Saturday between 8 and 9 a.m. Now, someone who has done a little bit of work for Sport FM, funnily enough, for a lot of you listening and watching, those that are watching the podcast here, the Pavilion, special guest, and he'll be a bit of a regular moving forward, Mr. Timothy Lees. Lees, how are you, Leesy?
Good, thanks, Ratsy. Pleasure to be here, and welcome to all the listeners out there.
Now, Tim's tuning in all the way from the Kimberley there up in Kununurra. That's where he's been for the last couple of years. But bit of, well, I don't know if it's good or bad news. It depends on how you look at it, mate. But I believe that you may be returning to the old Mandurah area.
Yeah, no, look, it's been a good 2 years up in the Kimberley, but looking forward to getting back around the Peel region around Christmas and bringing my beautiful family home, mate. But yeah, no, like I said, I've caught a few fish up here, and we've done a lot of camping and experienced the God's country. And yeah, no, it's time to come back, mate. The kids are getting a bit older.
Yep.
If I timed it a bit earlier, I reckon I might have been able to stay a bit longer. But yeah, no, we're coming home, mate. Looking forward to it.
There we go. So for those that do know, I'm sure a lot of you do know, Tim's had a fair association with the PCA throughout the years. He's played and coached at Hall's Head, won about 8,000 flags there amongst all the grades. Go on, you must be able to reel them off, mate. How many is it?
Oh, look, let's just go with a few.
Oh, dearie me. He's trying to be humble. He's never been humble in his life. And then he went to Singleton Irwinians. He was well, I guess he had a key role in the in Singleton and Irwinians sort of joining. There was it's an infamous car park meeting that it was done, wasn't it, mate? Something like that. Yeah,
no, definitely, mate.
And there you did your thing, and you captained and you coached and you won a few more premierships. You won 3 in a row in the B grade as captain. Is that right?
Yeah, look, was very lucky to win 3 in a very good side, mate.
And he's been there. He was chairman of the Peel Cricket Board for a while. He did a lot of coaching in the area, even to the point where he was running the whatever it was called at that stage, a T20 Blast, I guess it was, at Singleton there before you left. Also did a bit of coaching with WA Cricket, or the WACA as it was then, as the country Colts coach. And there's a few players running around in the PCA at the moment. They were under his tutelage. I know one naughty boy, one Dan Abel, he's still running around and doing quite well for Waruna.
Oh, mate, a lot of love for Daniel. Gotta love. More spinners need to be given more love, Orazio. I'm preaching to converted with you, mate.
Well, mate, we've got more spinners going around in PCA than anywhere in the whole wide world, I reckon. And we've got some superstar spinners, and Dan's one of the stable, no doubt. And we've got a lot of.
Can I just say though as well, Daniel took a 10 for bowling left arm meds. So
yeah,
even though he reckons he's a spinner, he actually bowls pretty good left arm as well.
He bowls very, very good left arm orthodox, and that's the smart way to go. Just venturing off quickly before we come back to PCA. I don't know if you noticed on the weekend, mate, but another former pupil of yours in the Colts team, Damien Sweet, he's now captain of University Cricket Club in the Premier competition.
Oh, sweet as, mate, is what I used to pretty much that sums up his mantra as a batter. Like, you'd come to him with issues, there'd be pressure on, there'd be wickets falling around him, and he'd just be like, no pressure. He'd just play freely, but geez, what an excitement machine he was for the WA Country Colts. He was Kalgoorlie based at that stage, and
he was
travelling in as a little mini Andrew McDonald, wasn't he? Little redhead.
Yeah, little redhead. Yep.
From Kalgoorlie, and boy, he had some talent, and he still got it clearly. And geez, that pleases me to hear him playing a bit of grade cricket.
Yeah, well, he's captain of university. There's a lot of country kids running around. There's There's another one you'd remember, although it was more the junior stuff at that stage. Isaac Malentis, he's playing for WA Second 11 as we speak. Well, not right now.
I have seen his name going around. Yeah,
he's had a couple of good years at Willetton. There's Corey Wosley played today. We are recording this on Monday, by the way, but Corey Wosley made his Second 11 debut today for WA Second 11. So that's an exciting move for a young, he's 17 now, I think.
Keep off the old block. What as mad as a cut snake Mark was, wasn't he? I tell you what, I've had the privilege of seeing him bowl a few grade games, or not grade games, but like when he's well past it. But geez, even then he was still frightening.
So the tradition continues for regional cricket and for the Peel region in particular. So some real good stuff. So although you are far away,
can we chuck in Teague Wiley being named?
Teague, yeah, we are. We've done that, mate. Teague's he's a veteran of the show. He'll
yeah, I know. I just wanted to throw that in there. I saw him named the other day, and I thought that was pretty cool from a WA perspective and a Rocky Mandurah Peel perspective. Yeah, but I'm sure you've talked him up enough, Ratsy.
Yeah. Well, I keep telling him that. I've had we had John on the show a couple of weeks ago as well, and
the snout.
I said we're not going to talk about the kids because they get enough. It's cool. Time for mum and dad this time.
Yeah, I reckon too. Let's talk about Snouter. Gee, that could be a whole other episode, couldn't it?
Well, there's been a lot of love for John, but I don't want to pump him up too much because he's had the Country Cricket Board podcast as well. So just keeping a lid on the Wiley family there. We'll just no, we love them all. Okay, mate. So you've been obviously watching from afar and seen some results here and there, and seen some changes in the competition. I mean, over the last season alone, we've had some change. What have you seen?
Firstly, Ratsy, thanks for that quite prolonged introduction. It was quite humbling to hear. It's always the way, isn't it? When you sit there and all the cricketers out there will relate to this. You sit around the table after a hard games cricket, and you're happy to sit there and sledge your mates and talk yourself up in your own company. But when it comes to actually sitting there in front of people you don't know, or people that are listening, it just becomes a totally different thing. You kind of just end up going, well, look, can we just move on? But yeah, look, thanks, mate. It's been a great journey, and I love the Peel Cricket Association and all of its, well, it's just given me a lot of pleasure over the years, and it's grown now. And it's been interesting to watch from up here over the last few years, Ratsy. North Baldivis growing, obviously. Baldivis getting their new facility. Yep. South Mandurah getting the hybrid wicket last year. And I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on how that's playing out this year. Obviously, there's been a few challenges with teams dropping out, like South Mandurah out of A grade. And I know there's a few other clubs that are struggling with players going here and there, and then some other clubs are growing, and so it's always an evolving beast, isn't it? Competitions and clubs come up and down, but really pleasing to see that you've got, seems to me anyway, a thriving competition in the seniors and the juniors, and with some powerhouse clubs starting to emerge.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, our challenges here in the PCA are no different than anyone else, really. It's just that we're not that big. So any slight move, any slight tremor somewhere is actually bigger than what it may seem. But like one of the old, well, I don't know what you'd call it, but the old sayings is nothing's as bad or nothing's as good as it seems. So just got to calm the farm and just get on with what you do, and we're doing some good stuff. We've got some great people around all over the place, and it's doing all right. So what we'll do, mate, we'll just go through some of the results, and you can chip in where because you've still got an association with a lot of people, and there'll be names that you'd be going, oh geez, I remember playing against him and he belted me for 6 somewhere, because a lot of batsmen have done that to your stuff that you bowl. And then we'll sort of go from there. So on the weekend, rain again. Summer may come around at some stage. Up there it's 95 degrees all day, every day in God's country up there in Kununurra. But down here, summer just doesn't exist. We just haven't had it. We can't complain as much as our East Coast friends, because they've been smashed to death. But Yeah, so we've had another week of cricket that was heavily affected. So in A grade in the Wiley Cup, we've only had one game played, and that was Warnbro v Pinjarra, and that was at Curry Street. Obviously, would have been a bit of a tough wicket. Would have been rain affected, but it was okay to play, obviously. Pinjarra batted first, all out for 84, and all out for 84. It's going to be a bit of an anomaly here because we've got two guys with the same name, but they're not the same person, unless we've got the Mackay brothers from Carlton thing happening, where you don't know that they're. Anyway, so Brad Williams got 4 for 14 for Warnbro in bowling Pinjarra out for 84, and Warnbro didn't have it their own way, 5 for 85, won by 5 wickets in the end. And it was that man. It was that man that the guy with the funny gloves that stands behind the stumps, the long hair, the little tash, Kane standing.
Look, I've had the pleasure of playing a B grade country week with Kane, and I tell you what, mate, there's never a bloke you'd ever want more than this guy in your team. Just the noise from the behind the stumps. And then there was one day where he gave the gloves up to have a rest, and he was at mid-off. And oh my goodness me, I reckon he created 3 or 4 wickets just from his chat. He just tested batsmen to the point where they just threw their wickets away. But very pleasing to see the little rat at the crease doing well.
Yeah, well, he's another 29 not out, holding the innings together. He got 330-odd runs for the season so far, one of the leading batters in the competition. That's after 7 rounds, so he's doing quite well.
Ratsy, if you've banked 330 runs before Christmas, that's a big season, isn't it? If you don't get 500 from there, it's one of the biggest chokes ever. So Kano, Captain Courageous, mate, leading from the front. What a season he's having.
He is having a belter, but I don't know if you've taken much notice. There's a guy called Jack Manuel at Hall's Head. He's got 441 runs at the moment, averaging 88.2.
And so he should, coming across as an international, just quietly. If you're an international import and they're looking after you, you'd want to back it up with a few runs when you're Ratsy. You've got Australian. A bit of experience on this front, do you?
He's an Australian now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He lives here.
I better check my facts, mate.
He's an England under-19 international, but he
absolute gun. And he's WA Country 11 representative, isn't he?
Not sure. I'm sure they'd like him to play. So, Jack, if you are listening, I'm sure the country boys would like to have you involved. I tell you what, the PCA guys would like to have you involved. So, the call's out there, Jack.
Am I just getting mixed up with Rudgy? Rudgy was in the Country 11, was he?
Rudgy's, yep.
Right, okay. Yep. Well, geez, Jack Manuel, I'll eat some humble pie with a fresh slice of cream. I tell you what, mate, well played. If you're a local player and not an import, I'd take it back.
Well, he's not an import. He lives here now, but he probably came over as an import. I'd like to know the story. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll get him on the show at some stage. And he's a quiet, humble man, but I'll get him on the show.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. How good is it getting some imports across? The competition needs it. You need internationals to come across and experience the conditions. And how good would it be for our players to be able to go across, experience an English summer? Imagine it. Oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, with any luck, we'll be able to do that now. A lot more players because obviously the borders are open. We can travel again. So, any young players, if you're wondering if you should, don't wonder, go. Someone who lived there, played there for ages, it's the most fun you'll ever have.
And it's why Hall's Head is such a powerhouse club. They actually think outside the square and they look to recruit from outside their own box, and that's why they've been so successful, Ratsy.
Yep, no, they're doing very, very well this year. Lots of runs. They're a batting machine. They are Hall's Head. Most of their grades do quite well with the bat, although as you'll see, some of the results haven't quite gone their way in some of the lower grades, but that's due to the availability as well, as you'd remember quite well. It depends on the swing shift, and we're coming up to this time of the year as well. It's always a bit funny with every club, and one week you're flush, and then the next week you're going, geez, we're going to struggle to get teams out.
But Ratsy, they've lost 2 A-grade grand finals in a row, haven't they? So this year would be huge. Imagine losing 2 A-grade grandies in a row. And a lot of those boys have played in both. I tell you what, they would, in my opinion, would be paying about $1.05 for the flag this year, in my opinion, just for that fact. Like, how much would that be burning against them? And I've just got a few years from Warnbro pricking up at that call, haven't I?
Yes, I tell you what, mate. You sure you want to come back? Because there's gonna be some people ready to meet you with the pitchforks, mate. I tell you what.
Yeah, I bet, mate. Bring it on.
You're old boys at Hallshead, so you've still got. I'm sure you still love there somewhere. I don't know where, but someone might still love you at Hallshead.
Mate, bloody oath, mate. Still got a lot of love. Surely you can change clubs and still hold love for other clubs.
I hope so. Because we're all a big happy family.
Okay,
let's move on to some B grade Macintosh Cup. Speaking of Macintosh, Lee Macintosh last year was just tearing it up. He's just dropped down a couple of grades just to sort of keep going and he's still making runs for class just doesn't go away, does it?
Oh, he's an absolute legend. I saw him with a cheeky score in D grade, I think, in one of the scorecards the other day. It's just magnificent to have him still playing, mate. He's just great servant to Peel cricket, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. You don't get a cup named after you for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hallshead, Rockingham Hornets. So I saw a little bit of that. There's some photos floating around there that will come up hopefully very soon in the Mandurah Mail. You can always get a report in the Mandurah Mail every week, and hopefully sometimes they put photos in. It just depends on whether they got room in the paper. But anyway, we get a report in there anyway. So we're getting out and about. So anyway, Rockingham batted first. They were all out for 89. Where's Nehru with 4 for 9? 4 for 9 off 9.5. That's ridiculous. Not really much happening with the bat there when you're all out for 89. And then in reply, Hallshead chased them down 3 down. Levi Muller with 33 leading the way there.
It kills me to say this, Orazio, but Wes Nadu is the equivalent of kryptonite for me. Every time I face him, he generally takes one of my stumps out just because I try to hit him to the other suburb. Yeah, so, yeah. I've definitely haven't had much success. Young Wesley, so big shout out to you, Wes. Well bowled, mate.
So we had Warnbro v Mandurah in B grade, and obviously A grade washed out. So a few A graders dropped down a grade, which you can. 2 players can drop down a grade. So they had Jordan Bell, who captains the A grade. He played in B and probably wishes he didn't because he only got 7. Anyway, so Mandurah 5 for 1, 4-3. They would have batted second, I'm presuming. Yeah, Warnbro batted first, all out 139. Mandurah 5 for 1, 4-3. Tommy Borkwell played. Interesting. So I don't know whether that's come back or he just played one game.
Ex-country Colts, Ratsy. He was in the squad when I was coaching.
Yeah, he went to England, came Melville, I thought he was at. But anyway, we'll know more next week. Very, very good keeper bat. Anyway, the highlights of that game. First of all, we'll see Warnbro's innings. Wow. Okay, so we had Travis Gordon with 70 out of 139. So top scored there easily. Wickets shared around by all the Mandurah bowlers. And then in reply, 5 for 1, 4-3. And you'll love this one. This is one right up your street. So he's come out of retirement this year. New Zealand international in Brendan Diamante.
Oh, BD.
And he's playing because he wants to play with his boy. So Isaac's been playing B grade. So Brendan's played a few games and they were at the crease together when they won the game, put on a partnership of 45. So Brendan with 25 not, and Isaac with 15 not. And they were there when Mandurah passed the score and won the game. So that would have been a bit of a highlight in BD's life, I would have thought.
Mate, how good is that? And you'll not meet a better individual than Brendan Diamante. He's just like a kindred spirit, true blue bloke. If he, clearly he's an Aussie now, but for a Kiwi, like he's an absolute ripper. And to hear that story, mate, that is just what it's all about, isn't it?
Yep, 100%. And he's just rolling around in bed, just playing with the boy, and that must be a bit of a dream.
Can you imagine rolling up Saturday Arvo and you've got BD doing warm-ups? Yeah, no thanks.
Well, you can tune in tomorrow. You can tune in tomorrow on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Channel. Watch the Retravision Premier T20 League, Mandurah v Warnbro again. So, and Mandurah play their first game. They haven't played yet, so they play their first game of the competition. And BD's been named in the squad, so he may be rolling around tomorrow. So you might be able to tune in and watch.
Because he only lives around the corner. I bet Matt Jenkinson's he's behind all of that, I reckon. Has Jenkinson been named in the lineup?
I don't think so. I think he's retired, I believe.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see him not walk out again.
You probably don't know either that Brendan's built the Field of Dreams in his backyard.
What do you mean? Are you joking? He's got his own ground in his backyard.
Well, not quite field. He's built in indoor cricket centre.
Oh, wow.
He's got a 3-lane indoor facility. So,
that is Field of Dream stuff.
Field of Dreams. Anyway, Mandurah 5 for 1, 4-3, defeat Warnbro all out 1-3-9. What we might do here is we might just take a little break and we'll be right back for the rest of the wrap-up.
At Retravision, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee, buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at Retravision.
Okay, welcome back to the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to you by Retravision, ESA Sports, and Everlast Sports Drinks. We're still here with Tim Lees. Tim Lees, former PCA exec, PCB exec, Hall's Head, Singleton Irwinians, this, that, and everywhere. Mr. Cricket of the Peel region. Joining us all the way from the Kimberley, but he will be back very, very soon in the region, and you'll be able to see his mug live. Gonna roll the arm over again. A Singleton gonna draw you back?
Yeah, look, you'll definitely find me in a bit of orange and black, mate, after Christmas. The body's been failing me of late, but yeah, I'll still be trying to fly the flag as much as I can for my club, mate.
Now, you're probably not aware. I don't know. You've probably taken that much, and that's fair enough. I wouldn't expect you to. But as of this week, for the next 3-4 weeks, from B grade through to F grade, we've split the season up. I'm going to play a little T20 comp in between the one-day competition. So starting this week, B through to F, playing T20 cricket. We've got some double headers happening. So clubs are using the opportunity to play double headers and have a bigger day of it and all that sort of stuff. There's players that are coming back out of the woodwork just to play in this little comp, just to break it up a little bit. Obviously, some of the grades don't have a lot of teams. So rather than go around 2.5 times or 3 times, just to, I guess, add a little bit of integrity to the 50 over comp or the longer format. Not everyone's 50 overs. So everyone plays each other twice, and then there's this T20 comp in the middle, and that's a separate competition.
Yeah, so I suppose Country Week ruling has kind of forced the association's hand in a way with this one, isn't it? But I like it. I like the addition of the T20. Traditionally over the last, since I've been in the region over 10 so years, there's been many attempts at getting the T20 comp up. And look, I think due to, a lot of push from guys like Ash Wyborn from a PCA level and Hall's Head level, big shout out to Ash. He did a lot of great work to get that inaugural PPL up, along with Carl Sanders and a few others. But, like the A grade's actually been managed pretty well, hasn't it? But past that, we have had some pretty good T20 comps back in the day. And I'm sure there's a lot of players listening going, yeah, I've played T20 and it was good. So I think that, the fact that there has been a few lower grade T20 competitions that have gone well, and then they've sort of died off, is I think now that it's come back, I think I'm really excited to see what these lower grades can produce over the next 3 weeks. And, with obviously the lack of Country Week in January, it changes the fixes right up, doesn't it? And for me, being up here in the Kimberley, I'm loving it, Ratsy, because it means I'm available for the next 45 over match, which is not until I was looking at the fixtures earlier this year, mate, and I'm like, when am I going to be able to play next? And
January the 14th.
I know, and I noticed that, and I'm like, what's going on? And then obviously the boys let me know about the T20. So,
Yeah.
and look, T20s are the way forward. You've just seen the T20 World Cup, and you see all of the franchise.
Well,
comps.
not much of Australia saw the T20 World Cup, but anyway,
No, we didn't, did we?
the rest of the world did.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the way forward. I think
100%.
the more we
I
embrace
love it.
the better.
I love it. And the fact that, say, a team like Rockingham, for instance, have got an extra team up in E grade. Other teams have got, there's guys that are coming out of retirement or haven't been available. But look, I can play for a few hours on a Saturday or whatever. I mean, you're a dad, and you know how hard it is to get away on a Saturday. And knowing that it's half the time, I'm sure Nat and the kids would be, oh, Dad, you're back. Wow, that's cool. Look, there's something in it anyway. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm keen. I reckon it'll be a bit of a winner. So good luck to everyone on the weekend.
Just on that one as well, though, Horatio, how often does a game get washed out at sort of 2 p.m. and you get the lads in the sheds texting the missus going, oh, I'll be home at 6:30?
Right, what are you doing? Now you're just giving away all the secrets. What? Oh dear.
No, but it's a great
You
point.
really don't want to come back, do you?
The lads, I suppose, would be getting home at a more decent hour. But look, I think at the end of the day, the more players playing, it's a better outcome. So
100%.
well done, mate. Well
100%.
done as prayers to get this up and running. I think it's a great effort. Is there any truth in saying that obviously it was a bit of a forced hand with the change in the country week rulings?
Forced hand. I don't know what.
As in, did it create the opportunity for the T20 competition to rise up with the extra weeks available? Because obviously, country week does sap a big part of the season out, doesn't it?
Well, it's the second half of the season. It's more the fact that clubs have spread where all their teams are, and they're trying to work at pushing everyone a bit closer together. So with that, you've got 16 comps and 17 comps, and so once you start in October, you've got around everyone quite quickly. And you go around twice, and then you're going to go around halfway for, you're going to get 3 rounds in. Or the other thing is, even if you could, do you really want to play everyone 3 times? It's
a great point. You could probably still fit in country week, couldn't you? And still have a bit of a T20.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just at this half of the year. And then the other thing is, we know at this time of the year, look, people have got other things on. You're coming into the festive period and all that sort of stuff. So look, this is we'll see. We'll see. Clubs have embraced it. I think it's really, really good. So I'll just go through a couple other results. So we've got our White Knights. They played North Baldivis in the B grade Macintosh Cup. White Knights Baldivis 220. Batting first, leading score there was Ben Merrifield. He got 86 of those. Wickets wise, we had Abhishek Sani with 4 for 24. So well bowled there. And in reply, the North Baldivis machine, who normally chase down these sort of scores, will get pretty close. They were all out for 111. Dullywall with 44 was the only real score there. And we had, this is the other anomaly. This is the other Brad Williams. He got 5 for 25. Now, I know one speaks with an Australian accent, one speaks with a Southern African accent. So this Brad Williams is from, I think it's Zimbabwe. It could be South Africa. I really don't want to get that wrong. So Southern Africa.
And obviously shares the name of the former first class
Brad Williams, yes, who played for WA as well.
Victoria as well, didn't he?
Yeah, played Victoria and WA. I've stupidly sledged him as a young man playing representative cricket, and didn't quite realise how fast he was until I went out there and, anyway, you learn. You learn. He was.
Tell us more, Ratsy. What happened? Did you get hit? Did you get out?
I didn't get many, put it that way. I didn't see many.
Yeah, right, nice.
And my teammates weren't best pleased with me when, he started pushing off the side screen and just coming in. And he was way, way too good, way too quick, way too good. And went on to play for Australia, and he was a hell of a player. And it was all for me. I obviously did that.
Oh, you got him going, mate.
Of course I did, yeah. Okay, Shoalwater Bay versus Pinjarra, the last game in B grade there. Big score here. Shoalwater Bay 8 for 268, and that was led by their overseas player. A grade was called off, so he's here to play cricket. So he rolling around in the B grade. Charles Kunji with 160 not off 143 balls.
Wow.
That's a big score. So 268. You're not going to lose too many games of cricket there. And in reply,
Was that 160, mate?
160.
Whew.
Pinjarra all out for 80. They didn't have a great weekend. And out of that, Seth Kennedy with 4 for 12 was the leading bowler there.
Yeah, very good.
We'll move on to some C grade, Jeffrey Cup action. So your old mob here again, Hall's Head, or one of your old mobs. You got a lot of shirts, a lot of caps you have. Hall's Head, 7 for 105. They defeated Secret Harbour all out 101. So for Hall's Head, we've got a 38 not for Reese Laurie, and bowling wise shared around for Secret Harbour, and Secret Harbour's bit of this, bit of that. Same with all the bowlers. So Hall's Head winners there. Shoalwater with the bat again. 7 for 227. You don't lose many games when you make over 200, I reckon, in club cricket. Would you agree?
Well, I think so. Like 200's par, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So you get 227. You're thinking you'll defend that. So we had Sean Heddle again, runs again. He got 67. He got runs last week. Kurt Phasm again, 44. He's getting some runs every week. And
Kurt Phasm, I've heard his name before in a country cult perspective.
Well, he's got 275 in 6 hits this year. He's doing all right. And Jeremy Letton.
He's been around a long time now. He's a bit of a stalwart for the Seals, isn't he?
Who's that?
Sean Heddle.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. And Jeremy Letton got 40 off 19, if you don't mind. 6 fours and a 6. Obviously in a bit of a hurry there.
Very good.
Tim Lee's-esque innings, that one.
Oh, whatever. You clearly haven't seen me bat.
And in reply, Mandra all at 175, so didn't quite get there. Top score there was Brendan Oakey with 40, and that was off 30 balls as well. So a lot of guys,
Okie dokes.
A lot of guys in a hurry in that one.
I've got a bit of love for the Okie doke.
White Knights Baldivis 6 for 204, tight one here. North Baldivis all out 201. So very tight game there. So we had Toby Snow with 42 not out. Top score there. Bowling wise, shared around. And North Baldivis, we had a Akil Raju, wicketkeeper, 67 top score there. And bowling wise, shared around there. So White Knights got up there in a close one. And now this is your old mob. So South Mandurah, 7 for 66. They defeated Singleton all out 63. So that was a close one.
Yeah, I was following this one on the weekend, mate.
And that one's at Laurie Stanford, that one. So must have been, I don't know, wet one. Not sure.
I don't think the wet weather has anything to do with that scoreline, mate. It was actually an ex-Singleton Blue, Glenn Wood, who tore the heart out of our chest.
Yep. He took 4 for 14 off 9.
Yeah, the ex-Bluey boy. Woody, if you're listening, seriously?
Well, he's doing a lot for the closing. He's vice president, I believe, or something along those lines. They're doing a lot of work. Yeah. So South Mandurah get another win there, and they're doing okay at the moment. Doing all right. D grade Ritchie Cup, the Pete Ritchie Cup. Now, Pete Ritchie, for those who don't, you'll hear later on in the show. We have a little chat with Max Fazio, who's doing a bit of work. Well, doing a bit of work. Bloody understatement. Pulling together the veterans. We spoke about it last week a little bit. Now Pete's gone away and he's representing the over 50s as we speak. And then he's getting on a plane at the end of that carnival, which is Thursday, and then going Geelong, I think, from I don't know where he is. Adelaide, I think might be in Adelaide, going to Geelong, and going for the over 60s. So he's tour of duty if you don't mind. So Pete's Doing all right. So anyway, the Richie Cup. We had Shoalwater Bay. They've had a good weekend. 9 for 128. They defeated Waruna 107. Out of the 128, we had Mason Maloney with 36 with the ball. Yep, just a bit sharing it around were Waruna. And in reply, we had a 37 from Regan Davis. Top score there with the ball shared around there by all the Shoalwater boys. So Shoalwater again had a good weekend. White Knights Baldivis 4 for 182 against Rockingham Hornets 9 for 115. So another good win there for White Knights. Who scored runs, you reckon, for White Knights?
Lethal.
Yep. 47. And we also had, he got done by Vish Patel got 83.
You've got him running around the D grade. You're going all right.
For Rockingham, team effort here. I think everyone bowled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone bowled, bar the keeper. And 115. Talk about cats running around in D grade. Troy Lovegrove.
Oh, here we go. Lovers.
He got 50. He took 5 for the other week in B grade, but he's playing with his boy, so he's having the father's dream. So he's doing all right.
I've seen a few of his posts. He reckons this is his last year. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, he's part of the this would be part down your pathway as well. He was part of the successful coaching team at Peel Thunder in the Colts. We won the premiership this year.
I did see that this year. He had quite a few, particularly around after the grand final. I saw quite a few celebratory posts. What a year he's had. He's had
a great year, has Mr. Lovegrove. And they're doing something at their club at the moment. They've moved to a new home. You'll see when you come here. They're at Kununurra now.
I can't wait to see it.
New pavilion, new nets and all that sort of stuff. But they're collecting stumps. So wooden stumps. I believe they're still doing that. So if anyone's got any wooden stumps floating around, drop them in to Rockingham Hornets. They're building a fence, as much fencing as they can from stumps.
No, that's a good idea.
And they're just going to sort of put them on wheels so they can wheel them in, wheel them out, sort of thing. So it'll be good. I like it.
It's a bit like the bat down south in the Great Southern.
Yep, mentioned that one.
Yeah. Where is that again? That was
Namakam or Nam Cup or what? Some weird name.
Really deep down there in the Great Southern somewhere. Yeah.
Hall's Head. I told you the run machines. 9 for 224. And we had Damien Billing with a ton. So there's always, someone's getting a century every week, which is good here. So he's got 101.
He's been around a while too, Damo.
With the ball for Singleton, shared around. And in reply, Singleton gave it a good crack. 6 for 186. That was shared around. Top score was Christian Toy with 34 not.
Great to see young Toy back in the orange and black, mate. Played in those premierships, those 3 in a row with me, mate, in the Bees. So good to see him back trotting around in the orange and black.
But they couldn't get the job done, and Hall's Head won that one. So we'll go into E grade. Quick wrap up here. Mandurah 9 for 156 defeated Hall's Head all out 79. So for Mandurah, do we have any? We had Christian Ogden with 36 top scored there, with the ball shared around there for Hall's Head. And in reply, we had Jack Johnson, obviously got off the guitar and just come out and got 38.
Well, everything's always better with him, isn't it?
I'm sure he's had that before. He must have. All out for 79. So Mandurah, easy winners there. White Knights winners again against North Baldivis. So the derby, the local derby, White Knights probably had one more of that throughout the grades. 109, everyone chipped in there with the ball. We had Kim Pelham with 4 for 18. But in reply, unfortunately, North Baldivis all out for 69. No one really, and wickets shared around everywhere. So Big day for White Knights and not so big a day for Northbelt Ibis, unfortunately. And Secret Harbour got a win against Warnbro there, 7-for-1-7-5. This man again, he's doing well. Keith Sweetman, he's got 170 in 6 hits so far, another 62. Very stylish player. He's Keith played one of the vets games with him last year, and I thought, geez, nice classical bat. With the ball, we had Liam Scarrett for Secret Harbour, took 4, and I believe is that his second. He's got 9 wickets in 6 games, doing all right. That was Warnbro, by the way. They got 1-4-5, but in Secret Harbour's 1-7-5. They just shared the love. You remember when footy did this more than anything? You would have done this as a junior coach, I'm sure. You know, when they are best players, it's team effort. You know, when you just team effort.
Yeah, team effort. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was a team effort. There was 30s and 20s, and so team effort, that one. So well done, Secret Harbour. Good team effort, that one. And last but not least, F grade. This will be where you're going, aren't you?
I'm eyeing it off.
Rockingham Hornets. You do know Rockingham Hornets are formerly known as Hillman Hornets. You followed that bit? They changed their name?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. 7-for-1-4-6 Rockingham. We had Tim Hamilton with 33 not out, leading scorer there, and in 1-4-6, and Shoalwater Bay, they lost the game. This is one game that they lost, and they lost quite comprehensively, all out for 43, with Laurie Parsons, 4 for 5. Wow.
Woo.
Now talk about derbies. White Knights Belt obviously got 2 teams in F grade, so it was blue versus gold. It was the internal derby.
Oh, this would have been good.
The Blues, 3 for 200, defeated Gold.
Defeated me in an F grade.
Yeah, defeated Gold, 6 for 168. So you'd like this in.
You don't reckon the skippers tried to retire a few of the top order bats?
But listen, who's opening the batting for White Knights Blue? Dave Brewer.
I have no idea.
Dave Brewer, you don't know? Dave Brewer. Yeah.
Geez, sorry, no.
Okay, so he's a very class bat. He probably had similar numbers to these in C grade last year.
Sorry, I shouldn't cut you off. Keep going. So 200 versus 168, did you say?
Yep. So Brewer 57. Marcel Bunce with 64 not. Well, they didn't take many wickets, so no one's
remember Kirsten Bunce, who played for the Fury, WA Fury? I'm sure she played for the Western Fury. Kirsten
Probably.
Bunce. There you go, mate. Very famous WA first-class name.
And in 168 for the gold, this man has made runs for fun in F grade this year. Surely he's got to get up into the D grade. Josh Matthews Rawlinson, another 59 not. So he's got 346 at an average of 346 at the moment.
He's only got out once.
Yep. So yeah, the Blues beat the Golds.
Surely he should be getting fined for red ink. He can't strut around in F grade with an average of 346 and survive at a local suburban cricket club.
Oh dear. Warnbro, 6 for 202. Good score there. Hall's Head all out 125. And for Warnbro, Sean Neri, or Scary Neri, as they call him, 50. Oh. And John Cribbs with 59. With the ball, no one in particular for Hall's Head there. And Hall's Head
called Scary? Is batting or is bowling?
I don't know. They just call him Scary Neri. I'm not sure why.
He's made a 50 and he's scary, so maybe he sledges bowlers.
Hall's Head 125. Ball with 33 for Hall's Head, and with the ball. Oh, here we go. We've got a 5 for Joel Hackwell, 5 for 20.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. Okay, that's a quick wrap up of, well, it wasn't quick. It was a 2-segment one, but we got Tim Lees on the show, and he'll be back hopefully next week. Can we drag you in next week?
Yeah, mate, no problems.
Okay, so
Depending on social media outrage after this first one, go from there.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so that was Tim Lees, all the way from Kununurra, joining the show, and he'll be a regular on the show from here on through, and he'll be able to do them live very, very soon. He might even do a game. He might even do one of the T20 games, co-commentating with me.
Ratsy, can I just throw in there a big shout out to Cameron Turner at Singleton Irwinians, who coached his 100th game for the juniors recently.
Yep, he did.
Absolute stalwart at the club, and we call him Bolby. He's got a big scone, but what a heart he's got as well to match it. And a lot of love for Cameron Turner. I know the opposition clubs really got around it and really supported Cameron's 100th game as well. So, yeah, just well done to Peel Junior Cricket. It was great to see that from the Kimberley.
No, it was. They gave him a guard of honour and all that sort of stuff. So well done to Cam there, and well done to Tim Lees for remembering that and being a good teammate as well. So that was Tim Lees there, all the way from the Kimberley. He'll be on again next week, and that is the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to you by Retravision, ESA and Everlast, ESA Sports and Everlast Sports Drinks. We'll be back after this one. Welcome back to the wrap-up of the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. As you can see, this week and every week, proudly supported by our wonderful partners in Retravision, ESA Sports and Everlast Sports Drink. Now, we've had a great chat there with Tim Lees. We spoke a little bit about, obviously, his little background there and just introduced him for those that don't know who he is. You'll hear his voice most weeks. We'll tune into... well, not live, but it'll be a recording where we'll have a chat to Tim and sort of get his views on what he's seeing from up there. He still keeps a very close eye on what's happening down here in the PCA. Now, just before we go, we'll have a quick wrap-up of the Retravision Premier T20 League match between Mandurah and Warnbro. So we're still in round 2, or the second game of round 2 of the competition. And this is where we were. So Mandurah, we haven't seen yet. So we have now, because they played on Tuesday. And Mandurah ran out comfortable winners there. So Warnbro batted first, 8 for 110. Was never really going to be enough. They just couldn't really get going, other than a sole hand, or two, a sole hand from the president, Charles Neuenhaus. He got 39 off 41, including 2 4s and 2 6s. And as I mentioned to him I said it a couple of times in the coverage, and then also as I caught up with him after the game, there's a little bit of Mark Waugh off the legs. I tell you what, I'm sure most people in the PCA know not to bowl on his legs, because very stylish off his legs. So he got 39 and sort of kept the team in it. Hilton Hardman come in and straight away, Hilton Hardman, formerly of Secret Harbour, he came in as a guest player for Warnbro. He doesn't play in the PCA anymore. He's moved to Joondalup, I believe. So it's a bit of a hike to come down, but he's made himself available for this competition, and Warnbro signed him up. So he made 31 off 28 and was looking really good, really positive on the front foot in particular. But then he got out, and then there just wasn't really much momentum from there. 110 was never going to really be enough. Some great bowling from the Mandurah bowling lineup, headlined by Ben Breton, who's a new recruit to Mandurah this year. He's come over from Victoria, I believe, so he must be a good guy, because all us Victorians are pretty good guys. 4 overs, 3 for 8. They're ridiculous figures for the right arm medium fast bowler. Probably a bit more than medium fast, but bowled really, really well. And as did all the Mandurah bowlers. It was quite clear. They were accurate. They were very, very accurate. Everything they bowled was on the stumps, and just gave Warnbro nothing. And in reply, Mandurah got those very, very convincingly, led by captain Chris Chalou, who's a new recruit to the club this year. And we've had a chat to him, obviously, this year already. He got 51 off 46. He was in a real hurry. And Tommy Borkwell, we've had a bit of a chat to him over the last season or so. Very popular player, wicket keeper, bat. He was available to play in this competition. He's gone and moved back to university to play some Premier cricket. and he's just come off a pretty good season in England as well. And he got 40 not out there as well. So they got it one down with 3 or 4 overs to spare and did it quite easy. So Mandurah get through this game unscathed, and they had a 9-wicket win. Next week, we've got Singleton versus Secret Harbour on Tuesday the 29th. Okay, that pretty much wraps up this week's show. Great to have Tim Lees on board. Hopefully you enjoyed the chat there, and good luck to everyone this week. Hopefully the rain stays away and we get a full round of PCA cricket. You've just listened to The Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. My name's Orazio Santalucia. You are listening on all different platforms here. You're either watching this on YouTube on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket channel. You'll listen to it on podcast across any platform you like. And you may also be listening to us on 91.3 Sport FM. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
At Retravision, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee. Buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at Retravision.